In today's chart room video, we covered a lot of tutorials for Japanese yen, METFI. We also looked closer at USDT and Bitcoin. Most of that information is found on our website or when you receive the live link, patreon.com/jsong_7. But right now, we're going to give you the recap for these cryptos. Everything in this video is not financial investment or trading advice of any kind. Everything is just for entertainment, educational, and comedic purposes only. I ate red crayons for breakfast. Trading in the markets carries substantial risks. Never trade more than you could afford to lose, and especially be aware against high leverage trading. Okay, past performance is never indicative of future performance. Let's go over some of our highlights from today. Okay. In our tutorial video, we talked about the Japanese yen. We pointed out some major trend lines with some verification, projecting our phantom lines, talking about the differences between round action and peaks. We talked about RSI location and how we can find sell signals within a downtrend or buy signals within an uptrend, and how to read them in context of the larger fish principle. We talked about how the fishes that are swimming in the wrong direction are easily cut, and we can identify them using a few basic principles. And some of these are the things that we learned from today's video, which is uploaded on our website. But overall we did find that in today's season, we have been at a sword cut with strong round action in a downtrend at a RSI signal location, multiple weaknesses appearing therefore, and we're looking for prices to continue going down. And that seems to be the case with the Japanese yen. You may want to pair the Japanese yen with a strong other currency, such as one like the euro, the US dollar, the Canadian, the Aussie. Those are some of the main ones that you want to trade. Grand British pound, Chinese yuan. Look for the one that's strong and then pair it with the index. When somebody told me about the index charts, I didn't even know I could look at them until just a few short years ago. And I was like, whoa, you could just type in the crypto pair you want, euro index, and then it'll pull up all of the indexes. And the indexes are a collection of all the baskets of currencies compared to that just one, and it gives you an average of what that currency is doing. And that's one easy way to read it. Okay, so just find one that's weak, find one that's strong, and pair them up together. Japanese yen accordingly is weak, and it looks like we're going to be weak all the way down until these prices over here are currently around $721. We can say if health appears by connecting these last recent highs, and if prices come on this side, there's health appearing, and you may want to look for the next setup. We looked at METFI. We were able to identify a few different things. We were able to identify the essence. Here's some round action here with HB1 and HB2, which we talk about in sword methods 5.0 in our lessons on our website, 1 through 10. We can see that there was verification for HB2, and therefore we're not really paying attention so much to HB2, but it was something that we pointed out. We were able to connect the round actions from 1 and 2, which would have been approximately the highs right here, and the highs of that essence, that round action here, and bringing them to our lower energy center. We can see that at the wicks on the weekly chart, we stopped exactly at 1.86. Okay, so this is a sign that the weakness fully hasn't entered in, and rightly, but we spiked very low. On the daily chart, it's not really the place we wanted to look for that, because it would have looked like the lines were broken. Okay, but weakness appearing, just not ready to go down yet. We did come back up one more time to those HB areas, and therefore the weaknesses have appeared. According to the principle of the hard close, we saw that prices should have moved up around when price was hard closed at 1.86. We are in a territory of weakness on METFI. I really wouldn't be interested in this just yet until there's another setup. You may want to connect the tops on the weekly charts and wait for prices to break above those areas or build above those areas, and then it may be time to buy METFI. Okay, but as it is, there's some weaknesses in here. Okay. We can also see that there's an accelerated adjustment line that should be drawn from these bottoms here and these bottoms here on the chart. Okay, and that accelerated adjustment line, we labeled it as accelerated adjustment line 1, or AAL, and when prices build below that angle, that would be the next sign of weakness. That would be the number 2 sign of weakness. Okay, with the other sign of weaknesses we're looking for is when we had drawn those foundational lines or angles. We can see 2 of them, and that should create a range for the sword cut that should be approximately between these prices of $2.01 to $2.20. So if you want to just draw a block from 210 to 220, we're looking for prices to round up, hit that number, and then continue going down. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for prices to continue going up, hit that number, and go down. Okay, that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, the last support should have been about right here, and price is going up, so therefore that's our price did have an increase in volume in these areas, so we can see there's still some buying and some supplies, so most likely you're going to continue going up to the last known resistance, which is that sword cut area, and then we should go down. We looked at USDT.D, and this was very important a few weeks ago. We've been reading this chart for a few months, and these lines we've had for months, but a few weeks ago we stopped almost exactly on our Tiger projection of 6.16, and what this means is that we're rounding up right into this area, and we have been expecting this chart to go down. When this chart goes down, Bitcoin goes up, and I told you almost 2 years ago when we hit this lower line. It's been almost 2 years now. Yeah, this is a weekly chart. Okay, there's only 52 candles in the year. And when we hit this, I'm going to make an emergency meeting, because this is going to be the period on when we're going to see Bitcoin start reversing. We're going to see some major weaknesses appearing in these areas. Okay, now here's what happened. When this chart stopped at the 6.14 area for that week, this was telling me the market should be bullish and Bitcoin should be bullish. Okay, Bitcoin should become bullish right there, and when this chart goes down, the Bitcoin goes up, the cryptos go up. We are very close to our 4.97 and a low of 4.61 area, and if we stop in those areas, we're going to see Bitcoin go the opposite direction. Okay, now in the shorter term, we can read that weakness has appeared below 5.28. If we close today below 5.28, that means we really should be going down. Okay, now we already know we're going down on the longer term. The shorter term chart should tell us that weakness will appear below 5.28. Okay, which we're already well below there today. Okay, but you got another till 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's only the morning, so there's most likely you're going to probably hit your target within today. The high side is 4.93, and the wicks seem to form a nice little vortex on February 18th between one of the Tiger supports and those down wick supports. Okay, they form together around February 18th. So it's very possible that within the week we're going to hit it, or within today we're going to hit it. But there is some support that's already starting to appear, which again, when this goes up, Bitcoin should start going down. So be careful and look for a reversal on Bitcoin soon. Okay, this I believe is going to start the period of tumultuousness. Now, longer term, Bitcoin has potential to hit up to $840,000. And $129,000 is just the last mid-phantom, which price did respond in those areas. However, I really think that price will hit 840,000 if it's allowed to do. Okay, and there has been a prophetic word that Bitcoin would hit a very high number and then have a very large crash. Now, I have in the shorter term, I can see those prices should be around 61,000, and below right now in this days, it should only be about $52,995, which is about 53K, okay, in the shorter term. But overall, there is still some health, and unless prices are building below this $23,000 area, if we're building below 23,000, I would be looking for us to go down in a big way. But until then, on the longer term, I'm still not bearish Bitcoin fully, okay? I still think that even though Bitcoin's going to have a large drop, it's not going to go to zero unless we're really building below 23,000, or unless there's some kind of big hack or glitch or something like that. Okay, but overall, there's a strong uptrend, and I did not show this on Monday or Saturday, and I do apologize. I didn't show you guys, but I'm showing you today. Okay, so these are the maximums. Again, if we close below this yellow line on the monthly chart, we would know this is a sign of weakness. But it has to be the monthly chart, not the weekly, not the daily. It needs to be on the monthly chart. Just keep that in mind, and that's how I drew mine. If we look at RSI band momentum, I can see that there should be enough momentum in this crypto to get us high. The only thing that I really want to stress is that even though the chart looks good longer term on Bitcoin, on that monthly chart, the USDT.D chart was the primary one that gives me a lot of what I need to know about Bitcoin. And so because I'm using that chart in conjunction with Bitcoin, I'm not so much focused on the longer term stuff right now. It will come back into play, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to encounter some problems in the short term, but I don't want you to take your eye off the prize of the longer term. I don't believe this is the start of the flash crash and things like that, but I do believe it's going to be the start of a very tumultuous time for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin should go down by quite a bit, but I don't think it's going to be the time where it goes down to just zero. Okay, I don't think that's just it just yet, because I still see the momentum in this crypto for the long side. And I wouldn't think that 53,000 is the prophetic numbers that Bitcoin's going to hit, where it has that God candle and then it comes down, because the previous high was 60,000. Okay, the previous high was 61,000. So we're not even hitting the previous high yet. I don't think that fulfills the prophetic. I think if we hit 120,000, I think that could be even 60, even 80,000. Okay, could be a fulfillment of maybe that prophecy. But in my data, I still see that there's still money on the table up to 840,000. That would be definitely the fulfilling of that prophetic information. How can I reconcile it even though I see weaknesses on USDT? I reconcile it like this: shorter term tumultuousness, shorter term momentum. Reading the whole picture, I can see that there's going to be a lot of ups and downs in a strong way on USDT.D and Bitcoin. Okay, this means Bitcoin's going to be playing up and down. Let me show you more what I mean. Okay, here's Bitcoin on a weekly chart. There should have been strength and supports around 23,000. We can see that we're spiking into these areas and have been going up ever since. Here's another RSI location buy signal that happened just in January. It appears to be in January on the daily charts. We can see, using this chart, and we can see the different entries for Bitcoin using the fish principle, the principle of the fish swimming the wrong direction. Because USDT.D is going down, that means Bitcoin should be going up. All we do is hunt the down moves, and we can use those. So here would have been the first down move, with health appearing here at 41,000 areas. Here would have been the next health here at 44,000. That would have been another entry once we appeared in that area. And the last one would have been after our multi-touch flat based on these two cores over here. We can see that health should have appeared approximately here at 48,000, and this was just over the 9th of this month of February. And we've been going up ever since. So those are the two shorter term weaknesses appeared in January and ended around January. And then here's the health. This is a 6-hour chart, so this is not long ago, but we also have a RSI buy signal on the daily back on the lows. So I really like this indicator, using it for the way that I study it and use it, called map location, and I used to use band momentum. Those are the two ways I use it, not like everybody else. You reading the volume, we can see a few other things. We can see that I guess I didn't draw this. If we were to connect these two bottoms here, there's a trend line, and I didn't take a good picture of it, but if we draw these two bottoms and we place them at the last energy center, which is up there on top right there, we can see that price is actually building on those areas. And then reading the volume spread analysis, we can see there was pushing volume in the beginning, then no demand, which means that we're ready for the markup, and then we can see some more buying came in on these next set of down bars. So this is all still bullish on the 6 hour. So shorter term bullishness was happening in Bitcoin, which is all the more reason we should be hitting our target. Now, where's our target? 50,499 to 52,995. We first hit that low side of the target for 2 days straight, 2 days ago, and it didn't deter us. It didn't deter us. That shorter 6 hour chart was confirming there's still momentum. So therefore, most likely we're going to hit the top side of the target. In my experience with when we put our target system on here, we usually only hit the low or the high. We never really just stop in the middle. In the beginning, when I was doing target system, I always gave you guys the average. But for the most part, I always saw it either on the top side or the low side. So the high side is basically 242,995 or about 53,000. So if you guys want to draw that at 52,995, that's my target for short term. Okay, so on the daily chart, I believe we are going to hit 53 and we're going to come down. Okay, reading this in context with the USDT.D chart that I showed you, on the daily chart, we are almost at the reversal point. So Bitcoin should be reversing soon. And then we read it in context with what is happening now on Bitcoin. Bitcoin should reversing soon. So they're telling the same story. Two charts, the Tether dominance and the Bitcoin, are telling us we should be reversing soon. And what does this mean for you? It means get ready for some strong ups and downs. You may want to take profit very soon on Bitcoin. Okay, you may want to take profit soon on Bitcoin and maybe some of your other cryptos. So where should the next buying points come in? I'm going to show you a few. Number one, if we connect these cores down here, we can see that we should be falling. If we fall in these weeks, we should be falling to around 55,000 area, 50,000, 55.5 if it's on the week of February 18th. This is a daily chart. Okay, so if it's around February 18th, we're looking at 45,500. In addition to that, there was a strong parabolic area. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my actual Bitcoin chart. Based on this upward parabolic, and therefore our sword cut is around 45,280. Now, when we came to the upside, we never hit it. We just blew past it. I mean, we actually stopped on the low side, just right here. But we blew past it. So we never responded. And when I see that, that means I'm looking for it to hit on the upside when we come down. How would that manifest? It would look like prices coming down and rounding at 45,000. So my first support may be 45. After we hit 45, where are we going? We're probably going to go back up to the target one more time and pull out some more supply. After that, what's going to happen is most likely we're going to come down to the larger parabolic support. Now, here's a larger parabolic support going upwards on the daily chart. I can see the curvature here and here. So therefore, we should be hitting that low of around 41,000. Now, the last time we got close, we didn't touch it. We only spiked and we didn't touch it. And that was around right here. We did not come all the way down to the bottom, did we? No, we did not. So that line is still hot and ready to hit. And it's very possible that we're going to come down to that 41,000 area, 42,000, and make our way up. Okay, so again, in context, it may look something like this. And I drew this for you. So you guys have this. I said I was going to make an emergency video when we hit it, and this is it. Okay, if you guys want more of this type of content, we meet together 3 times a week. Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays on our website, patreon.com/jsong_7. People in our group have had these maps for a long time. You guys can have them too. We upload them on our website. It's starting in March. It's going to be $10 a month just for the image notes. And for our dive tier membership and access to our exclusive via Telegram group chat and access to all the live video links, it's just $18 for the whole month. And we appreciate your support of our WordRoom ministry and support of our charts. We love this. Let's get back to the program. Here is what I would suspect it's going to look like. Hitting the target high, 53, coming down to 45. Okay, got it. Target 53 down to 45. If you're making notes, you can write these numbers down. 53 up to maybe again the low side of 51 or again 53. And then we're going to come down. Now, if I saw it go to 53 and 45, this is going to fulfill certain prophetic words that they said, get ready for a roller coaster. They were saying, get ready for some ups and downs. This would look like that. And I can almost guarantee this is going to happen looking at the reversal points on USDT.D. Okay, so up, down. Then we are eventually going to go down because I very much suspect that USDT.D is going to have a very strong support on that level that I showed you at, that Bitcoins are going to hit maybe even today or this week. It's very close to the actual number. So get ready for the reversal to be soon. And then we're going to go down and probably hit 41,000. So 53, 45, maybe 53 again, somewhere above there, 53, or I'm sorry, 53, 51, somewhere maybe around there. We're going to come back down again to 41. And once we hit 41, I think we're going to come up again one more time. I think there's longer term bullishness that's still going to happen, but it's going to look like bouncing around. And when I look at the USDT.D chart, on the weekly chart, I can see tiger projection here. There should be support along this area. There's support on the monthly at this multi-touch flat, and I believe it's going to look like price bouncing up, price bouncing down, price bouncing up in the longer term weekly, possibly even the daily chart. And then what's going to happen is eventually, I believe either we're going to have a very strong down move, or we're going to break up, which would be very bullish for crypto, or we're going to break above these areas and it'll be very negative for crypto. But ultimately, we're going to find out very soon what's going to happen. And I pray more of the stories revealed that is going to come next. Now, here's something that I didn't share. Okay, this support on USDT is made up of a very long area. We did the tiger calculation. Okay, and if we reverse at these points, which most likely we're going to, that will be still within the down move here, which means there's still a chance, a strong chance, that we will just simply phase through to this side. Okay, price bouncing up and down in this area and then eventually phase through. That would be bearish, this chart, very bullish on Bitcoin. Even though there's support here, we should play in this area for a few months, ups and downs, and eventually come to the health side for Bitcoin. The health side in this case, again, is the downside. It's in reverse. Because remember, when this chart goes up, Bitcoin goes down. When this chart goes down, Bitcoin goes up. So don't forget that. If we just phase through, that allows Bitcoin to hit very new highs. And I'll be here with you. I'm here with you. I told you guys I'd be here with you through the wealth transfer, through some of these events. And Prophet Robin said I wouldn't miss it. A few years ago, I asked him, did the Lord say anything about me missing? He says, the Lord says you're not going to miss it. And I hope I don't miss it. I don't believe I'm going to miss it. I believe I can see these moves in events. And here would be longer term bullishness for Bitcoin. This would allow Bitcoin to get to some new highs. But we also have some of the major tiger projections also already on our charts. One of them being here. So therefore, I know if we have a very large pump, it may be from here to here. And that would be a massive up move for Bitcoin. And this is where we should also reverse. I can see some of the smaller ones here, but I also see a major one here. And I can see these levels in advance. But as it is short term, we should be playing around and you're going to see prices reverse. But eventually, I think what's going to happen is Bitcoin's going to come out on top because this line most likely will be broken. If it's not broken, you're going to know it advance by virtue of being on top of this area. I am speaking very solemnly. This is important. This is a multi-touch flat along here on this blue line. And here's the downtrend. If we're up here in these areas, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video, and if we're above that 7.88% area, somewhere around here, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video and I'm going to say, guys, this is very negative for Bitcoin. This would be the next area that would be very negative for Bitcoin. It is possible, because we're still within the uptrend, that will break to the top side using the multi-touch flat momentum. It would look like this. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce on top of this flat. Then that momentum will help break us above here. Until then, all we're doing is playing up and down within this small area right here. And that's going to be scary for a lot of people, because they're going to see their investments going up and down and up and down and wondering, if we break to this side, that's negative Bitcoin. If we break to the downside, let me make that red for you. And if we break to the downside, that is bullish Bitcoin. If you guys want to draw it on your own map, TradingView is a free app. You guys can draw this trend line and you know for a fact. Let me get you those numbers. 7.8. 2.19. Let's see the lows. Give you more accurate. 2.85. Okay, those are going to be some of the major ones I'm watching. Here's another major one. 6.1. Okay, I told you guys I would make an emergency video, and this is it. I love you guys, and if you have questions, go ahead and join us. Our website's right here, www.patreon.com. I want you guys to hang on for a ride of your life. It's very possible that we're going to move into these areas in a very quick and short amount of time. It's possible. Some of these things take a few years, as you guys have known. I talked about the big pump and dump, but we can see that in the charts coming in, and this is going to be, we're now at that area in just a few short, maybe hours, maybe within the week. Get ready, take profit. I'll see you guys soon.